hablas de ti, tú eres un pendejo nomás con la imagen, idiota.
Sí.
Cabrón.
Okay.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez have once again shown boxing fans that their September matchup is truly the fight of the year. Despite Canelo having a bout scheduled in May during the Cinco de Mayo weekend, it's his fight against Crawford that's grabbing all the headlines.
Para este imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine siendo el Canelo a Estados Unidos y que solamente lucró con mi...
Both fighters have had several meetings with Saudi boxing mogul Turki Al-Sheikh. Beyond these meetings, they've spiced things up with heated exchanges, setting the stage for a match fans are deeming the event of the year. Crawford and Canelo know how to give fans the chaos and fierceness they crave, and they're delivering just that.
Both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that I step.
Reports this week indicate that the showdown between these pound-for-pound stars has been agreed upon and is set for September. However, there's speculation it could happen in May instead. Turki Al-Sheikh has been leading negotiations between both camps, aiming to finalize one of the biggest fights in boxing history. Initially, Canelo was reluctant to face the 37-year-old from Omaha, but it appears the Mexican icon has changed his mind and is gearing up for this latest challenge.
Wow, a small fighter like Charlo, he's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford.
In an interview with a reputable boxing platform, the 34-year-old revealed he's up for the clash with Bud, admitting he might not get any credit for it. I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter. No disrespect to him, but sometimes it's crazy that people talk about a smaller fighter like Charlo, and then everyone asks if I'll face Crawford, who's even smaller. It makes no sense. At the end of the day, I won't get any credit if I face Crawford, but you never know in boxing. I go up and down and fight everyone out there, so it's possible. Why not? It's possible.
Fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say.
This echoes an earlier interview where he said, "I'm in. Why not? I think Crawford is a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money. If the money is right, I'm in." He added, "I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he moves a lot and the fight isn't that great. I saw Crawford's last fight and he doesn't move as much now. So yeah, if the money is right, I'm in."
First, what did you think of his performance versus Berlanga?
I think he put on a great performance, like he always do. Canelo is Canelo.
Crawford has expressed his desire for the fight, calling it a legacy-defining matchup and the biggest in boxing today. "I feel like this fight is the last of the Mohicans. It would be massive. 2 top 3 pound-for-pound fighters going head-to-head. I know Canelo is bigger than me, but I'm up for the challenge. It's all respect, and if he decides to come my way and we get in the ring, it would be electrifying."
I think Berlanga put on a tremendous show as well. He showed a lot of heart and grit and determination as well, and that made for a great fight.
If the fight happens, Crawford acknowledges the challenges, noting he'll have to be mindful of Canelo's size and power. However, he stated, "I've been fighting bigger guys my whole life," and guarantees he'll come away with a win. "Of course I'll beat him," the 37-year-old said. "There's no doubt in my mind that I can beat anyone I step in the ring with."
Come my way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight,
What makes a potential Canelo-Crawford fight particularly significant is that both men's Hall of Fame-worthy careers are likely winding down. The 34-year-old Canelo has been fighting professionally for nearly 20 years, earning an impressive record of 62-2. Some of those fights, especially his 2 controversial battles with Gennady Golovkin, have undoubtedly led to some wear and tear. As for Crawford, at 37 he's not getting any younger, with a considerable 41 fights under his belt. Suffice to say, the man has never lost in the ring. Seen through a certain lens, a Canelo-Crawford match makes a considerable amount of sense. as it's worth wondering what mountains are left for each man to climb.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us.
Both fighters know what it means to be an undisputed champion in an era where such titles are rare. They've also experienced the pressure of fighting under the bright lights. Canelo has faced legendary opponents like Golovkin and Mayweather, while Crawford had his breakout super fight in 2023 when he dominated Errol Spence in a one-sided battle, stopping him in 9 rounds. Now, for Crawford to challenge Canelo, he'd have to make a massive leap, jumping up 2 full weight classes to face the super middleweight king in what could be one of the most exciting matchups in years.
Cuando Canelo va a regresar al cuadrilátero.
Pues sí, lo importante es ganar, vernos bien. Estamos trabajando muy fuerte, creo que tenemos.
Bud might soon have the chance to become an undisputed champion in Sapituenda, a 3rd weight class. Comments from Canelo's trainer and manager Eddie Reynoso suggest that the Mexican star is weighing his options. Canelo lost his undisputed title at 168 lbs after being stripped by the IBF, with Cuba's William Skull later claiming the belt. Reynoso told Tasca.com that both Skull and French fighter Christian Mbili are possible opponents for Canelo's Cinco de Mayo fight. There's William Skull, and then there's Christian Mbili, who's classified by the WBO. I believe he lives in Canada. Right now, those are the main names in the mix, but nothing is set in stone.
Ganar la pelea por cualquiera de las 2 vías y después de eso pues ver qué es lo que viene, pero Saúl está para pelear con el que sea.
Canelo's ready to fight whoever it might be, but right now we are squarely focused.
There's also talk of Crawford facing Canelo in September, but no official confirmation is expected for at least 2 weeks. Many doubt Skull's chances against Alvarez, especially since his last win over Vladimir Shishkin was seen as controversial. Meanwhile, Mbili, who fights out of Montreal, might pose a tougher challenge but would still enter the ring as a clear underdog. Regardless of the opponent, fans are hoping Canelo stays injury-free and ready for a potential showdown with Crawford later this year. The relationship between Canelo and his trainer Reynoso is one of boxing's longest-lasting partnerships. It began in 2003 when a 14-year-old Canelo walked into their gym in Guadalajara. At the time, Reynoso was just 27, but his father, Don Chepo, immediately saw Canelo's raw talent and power.
Ánimo, güey, ¿eh? Eres más joven que él, Saúl, ¿eh? Eres más joven que él, hay que aprovechar eso, hijo, ¿eh?
Canelo comes over the top with an overhand right, lands right to the left.
Over time, Canelo's bond with the Reynosos, especially Eddie, grew beyond a typical fighter-trainer relationship. It became like family. Eddie was instrumental in refining Canelo's skills and helping him rise to become one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world, winning multiple world titles in different weight classes. Crawford knows he'd be at a size disadvantage against Canelo and admits that weight will be a key factor. Still, he's confident in his skills and believes he can find a way to impose his style. Some experts, however, are skeptical. Crawford's last fight, a decision win over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, lacked the dominant performance many had expected, raising doubts about how well he'd compete at super middleweight.
Paloma, ya está, ya.
Los de campeonato, don Chepo.
Mijo, siguen 3 rounds, hay que hacerlo con velocidad, con inteligencia, güey. ¿Eh? Sí. ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Te lastimó? ¿Eh?
Despite these concerns, a Canelo versus Crawford fight has captured the imagination of boxing fans. Both fighters bring a mix of power, speed, and charisma, making for an electric showdown. Canelo has made it a tradition to fight twice a year, once in May and once in Iowa in September, usually during Mexican Independence Weekend. Since 2022, he has stuck to this schedule, and many expect him to continue. With David Benavidez not showing much interest in pushing for the mandatory WBC title shot at 168 lbs, Crawford has emerged as a serious contender for Canelo's first fight of the year.
Hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo just like they knew Bud was gonna beat Smith. It's real tough. You just gotta know boxing in order for you to be able to say it.
Even so, some see this fight as more of a spectacle than a competitive matchup, given that Crawford fights at 154 lbs, 2 full weight classes below Canelo. However, both Crawford and his advisor, Shakur Stevenson, are actively trying to convince Canelo to accept the fight, with reports suggesting that Canelo has asked for a staggering $150 million to make it happen. If the Crawford fight doesn't materialize, Canelo still has intriguing options for early 2025. Another name in the mix is France's Christian Mbili, a 29-year-old fighter with an undefeated 28-0 record who recently beat Sergey Derevianchenko. Meanwhile, William Skull, 23-0, was ruled out back in September after the IBF stripped Canelo of his undisputed status when he refused to fight the Cuban challenger.
We're with now, or are we still waiting for that second fight to happen? I don't know, man. I don't know. They still got to go, got to work things out and see where they go from there.
Canelo has been setting his own catch weights for years. He once fought a smaller Mayweather, and now a potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is one of the biggest fights in boxing today. With Saudi Arabia's deep involvement in the sport, it seems more likely than ever. Trainer Robert Garcia discussed Canelo's advantage over Crawford and also shared his thoughts on Crawford's future. He believes that if Crawford doesn't secure a fight with Canelo soon, he might retire. Crawford knows this is the biggest payday of his career. He's a smart man. He's already achieved everything he wanted, Garcia said in an interview with Fight Hype. He's got nothing left to prove. I've spoken to him, and my feeling is that he wants this one last big fight. If it doesn't happen, he may never fight again. That said, Crawford does have options in the junior middleweight division if he chooses to challenge current champions. The most exciting fight would be against WBC and WBO champion Sebastian Fundora. Other possible opponents include IBF champion Bakram Murtazaliev, as well as Jermell Charlo, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Serhii Bohachuk, and Xander Zayas. Why would he call out Benavidez when he can call out Canelo and make double the money? He wants to fight at 168, that's why, Garcia added. However, he also emphasized that Crawford has no need to chase another fight. He's had an incredible career. He doesn't need to fight just to satisfy fans who say he should face this guy or that guy, Garcia explained. According to Garcia, Crawford doesn't need to fight for financial reasons either. He has made smart investments and secured his future. The only reason he would step back in the ring is for a big fight against Canelo, and if he gets it, he'll take it. Otherwise, he's done, Garcia concluded. Garcia believes Crawford can hold his own against Canelo for several rounds, though he may not win. I think Crawford could put up a strong fight, at least for 6 to 8 rounds. He's skilled, fast, and powerful enough to earn Canelo's respect, Garcia said. But ultimately, I think Canelo is just too big and too strong. The potential Canelo versus Crawford fight is expected to be one of the most highly anticipated bouts of 2025. Canelo, the 34-year-old unified super middleweight champion, is boxing's biggest star, known for his pressure fighting, counter-punching, and iron chin. He has won 62 fights and claimed championships in 4 weight classes. On the other hand, the 37-year-old Terence "Bud" Crawford is also a 4-division champion and currently holds unified titles at light middleweight. However, taking on a naturally bigger and stronger Canelo is a massive challenge. Both fighters having impressive resumes, their clash is a dream matchup for boxing fans and experts alike. Saudi Arabia is eager to make the fight happen, but some analysts have stirred controversy with their predictions. Stephen Edwards, for example, has received a flood of criticism for picking Crawford to win. "I get more racist and hateful emails than you can imagine," Edwards told the media via BoxingScene.com. "Just because I think Crawford can beat Canelo, people act like it's blasphemy. I've even had people try to bait me into posting their emails so they can see their names online. It's the weirdest obsession." Edwards also pointed out that Canelo's fan base wasn't upset when he picked Canelo to beat Dimitri Bivol, despite being completely wrong about that fight. "That was one of the worst picks of my life, and yet no one from Russia sent me hate mail or conspiracy theories when Bivol won," he said. "But this time, because I picked Crawford, it's a public execution in their eyes." Interview 19. Edwards remains firm in his belief that Crawford has the skills to defeat Canelo if they ever meet in 2025. Canelo is incredibly smart in the ring. He spars heavyweights and holds his own, but size isn't everything, Edwards said. He struggled with Mayweather, Trout, and Lara, fighters who have similar styles to Crawford. He knows Crawford is a real threat, even if his fans don't see it. He didn't back down from the backlash either. "You can insult me all you want. I'm still picking Terence Bud Crawford to beat Canelo by a close decision. People underestimate his strength. No, he's not stronger than Canelo, but he's strong enough. This isn't a weightlifting contest." As the boxing world debates this potential super fight, former heavyweight champion Tyson Fury also shared his thoughts. Speaking to TNT Sports Boxing, Fury acknowledged that weight would be a huge factor. "If this fight happened years ago at a lower weight, I'd pick Crawford," Fury said. "But at 168, where the fight will actually happen, I have to go with Canelo. Canelo has made it clear that he won't drop weight for any opponent. That aligns with Crawford's mindset, as he's determined to challenge himself by moving up to 168, 14 pounds heavier than his last fight. And that's all for now. For the latest boxing news, moments, and updates, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.